Welcome all back here on the set for your feature interview. Again, my name's Daron Vaught, and again, the SGA Elections Officer, Jason Hill, has joined me on the set here today to talk about the upcoming elections. Jason, thanks for coming on.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Daron.
And Jason, as the elections officer, obviously you take care of the presidential and vice presidential campaigns and elections toward the end of the year, but you also handle senatorial elections at the beginning of each semester. How is that process?
Well, beginning of the year, we target as many people as possible to come out and try to run for Senate seats. The biggest issue that we have is getting freshmen involved because, you know, they're timid about the whole process of doing something new. But it's basically an application turned into the Dean of Students office, and we run a race, and whoever gets the most votes in their district, I think we have 14 districts, 13 districts, something like that, and they're elected as senators or representatives for their district.
So you mentioned districts, and those are sorted out by residential areas on campus.
Yes.
So that obviously, with freshman housing, allows freshmen to have those opportunities, which you mentioned it's kind of hard to get them to come out of their shells. Is that something that you think is important, having freshman involvement in the Senate?
Oh yeah, I think it's really important. As much as a freshman can get out their shell and get out their comfort zone, I think it will benefit them in the long run. I know we've had issues this past year with freshmen being elected and not attending Senate meetings. And as a senator, the biggest thing is being able to attend Senate meetings that are about once a month on a Wednesday night.
So attendance is key, but at the meetings, what happens? Take us into the mind of a senator at a Senate meeting. What happens?
The mind of a senator.
The mind of a senator.
It's not my mind, but
right. But you can surely take us there.
Yeah. Yes. So we start off the meeting with prayer, announcements, new business, old business, bills being passed. It's actually a pretty neat process in the sense it's pretty professional. You know, we try to instill, make people or tell people to dress nicely so that it's the sense of the business world is in that meeting. So
I know with these Senate meetings, bills are proposed, they're voted on, but how much is really done? I know that there's a misconception out there that perhaps, you know, it's just sort of for play and that students don't really get anything done that can really impact the college in a big way. From what you've seen this year and your experiences, is that true?
No. I'll tell you something about student government. I look at us as mediating structure between the student body and the people in charge, are say the faculty, the president, the board of trustees, and all that. And even as jobs as senators, we have different boards or different committees within the Senate. We have Housing and Ground Committee, Food Committee, Rules Committee, and their job also with attending these meetings is to get into groups into their committees once or twice before each Senate meeting and come up with ideas or whatever to better what we're doing and portray ideas from students that they've heard.
So just maybe an example or two, what have these committees and senators at Emory Henry College done this year?
Well, I know a big thing that they've been working on was getting benches around campus, and I think that's really right in the process of going right along. We also have the budget committee. They pass budgets for each organization, and Housing Ground. I don't know. So,
well, you mentioned the budget, and that's something that's really interesting to me. That's not even one of those things that the students come up with, and it goes straight to a faculty member or some sort of staff. That is approved by a student committee, correct?
Yes.
So that's fascinating to me. Well, let's talk about a little bit the upcoming election. There are presidential and vice presidential candidates obviously running with running mates, and there are, what, 3 tickets? Is that correct on this year's ballot?
That's correct.
Talk about some of the candidates.
Well, we have Kenton Williams and Tessa Burden. We have, I'm blanking right now, Race.
Race Lamb,
yes.
who was a Bonner Scholar, and his running mate, Ashley Ebersole,
Ashley,
correct?
and we also have Mark Robinson and Yancey Wilmoth, and those are the 3 tickets for this year. You know, I feel that this year is going to be pretty competitive just from outside approach, you know, looking in at everyone's ideas and what they want to bring to student government. And we also have the what is it called? Not the conference, but
the debates.
The debates.
Yeah,
sorry.
Tuesday night. And those, of course,
Tonight.
will have already happened by the time our viewers see this. But those are very crucial in the process.
Yes, and then voting. So voting process for students will be April 2nd through April 4th, and I guess you'll be able to vote in the CAF, and I also think maybe in MS or something. Yeah.
So, sort of behind the scenes with this election process, I know you mentioned before we came on the set that the senatorial elections can be kind of tedious. You can have trouble finding people to participate. Are any of those the case with the presidential and vice presidential campaigns?
I wouldn't say so, just because it seems to be like more of a prestigious position. So, you know, you're gonna want, like, someone's gonna want that on their resume, or someone's gonna, you know, who really wants to make a difference, have that head position. So I feel that we have like really qualified candidates, and that we've had qualified candidates in the past years.
Well, Jason, let's talk about you a little bit. You're a very involved guy on campus. Aside from student government, you play for the Emory Henry football team, and you play safety for them.
Yes.
Talk about, obviously, you guys started spring practice just this week.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's going great. All the guys are pretty excited about spring ball. You know, as soon as spring practice starts, summer comes, just snap of the fingers. So we're just going over old coverages, you know, installing some new terminology, gearing up for the fall season, and I mean, everyone's excited. I actually first play of the spring practice laid someone out even without pads. So
I did see the video from that yesterday. You showed me that. But talk about, you were just recently voted for next fall when you'll be a junior on the field to be one of the team's captains. And you, along with the quarterback Kyle Bowden, also juniors, will be the captains for that team. What does that mean to you to be voted as a captain, not even as a senior?
It's definitely humbling, you know. What I do on the field and off the field, I don't really demand notice towards that, and you know, I respect my teammates for noticing that and feeling the need to vote me in as a captain, even though I'm not a senior.
Well, congratulations on the honor. That, of course, voted on by your own teammates. So evidently a lot of respect towards you on and off the field within the team, at least, and with your student government position, some off the field as well. But thanks for joining us, Jason.
Thank you, Daron.
And now we'll send it to Patrick Ray for this week's Out and About. He'll tell you about an energy conservation competition that's going on here on campus.